Yo, Sigma here. Today's a bit of a longer video because all the fights today were relatively fast. It's really fast paced today. The first team is deceptively low in combat power. The second team, to be entirely frank, in none of my runs, it give me much of a delay. You're going to see three runs here. This first one is the blind run where I just go in and open like I usually do. And I get juggled through this EX skill. I freaking hate being juggled through EX skills like that, to be honest. It's so annoying. And I'm a little bit slow getting into my cycle, switching between my mobile suits. But it's not particularly important for me to be doing that right now. For one, Koryu's buffing just like she should be, so I ended up going over to my range suit like I usually do and blasting things around. And then at the end here, like you see, that was the second wave, and it was barely a delay. I really should have not switched targets in this one because, as you can see, the looks like Isaac 8 puts up this barrier, and it looks like they may be the outfighter of that team based on how they're attacking most commonly, but I'm not very sure, to be frank. It's hard to tell. Due to a number of things. So you'll see, just keep an eye out for that suit with the new Gundam back on there. Because it puts up that barrier and it significantly blunts damage and blocks certain EX skills. So you saw me unload a few magazines in there, and I tried to consecutively put these together and it didn't quite work, so it's sort of spliced together from things between crashes. So this is my very next run of this day's fighters, and I decided to switch strategies a little bit because of getting juggled by that shooter. Just because I hate getting locked in a cutscene like that, and it really hurts time if you get stunned like that. You see, I just switch targets to try and get the shooter before they can fire off their EX skill, and I'm a little bit late. Of course. But I did manage to get the other mobile suit in the crossfire, but not quickly enough to kill either of them, frankly. I don't switch around much in this one. I stay on Tonbo for a while before I end up going over to Koryu. And when I do switch, it was actually accidental. I didn't mean to do that. Because I hold my phone with two hands, I end up bumping the switch button occasionally. I really wish it was somewhere in the middle, but that would be another risk of hitting it when I don't want to. But it's a nice feature nonetheless, because the AI does not efficiently use the EX skills like a player does. As you can see, by the time I switch over to my long shooter, she's still got most of her magazines left. Whereas a player would be like, nope, I need to unload these on everybody now. So my score already drifted in the time that between one match and the next. As you can see, I went from 8 to 12. And then again, this time it didn't crash between runs, so I immediately challenged it again to try for a better score and to get a longer commentary, just because that's the purpose of this channel. I hope you can learn something from watching these. It's a really hectic day. They're just very fast teams as far as executing their EX skills and ganging up on you. The first one doesn't seem to be doing a great deal of damage. I've had them, if they get the right timing, take out my suits pretty quickly in the few runs after these, because I did take a few more to analyze. And that's why this is going to take a little bit more time for the video to come out today. But I would rather give a decent deconstruction than a poor one. So in this run, I swap around a lot more. I don't get as good of a score. And at the beginning there, you saw the Scythe Wave manage to interrupt the charge of that EX skill. So keep in mind, if you time it right, you can survive a finisher with the right EX skill or attack to interrupt theirs. And this time around, I stick to targets so that I finish off whatever I'm fighting rather than switch around. Lots of times I will lay down damage across the field so that my melee shooters or my melee suits can finish things off faster. And that time I tried to focus on that other that outfighter, I think, with the shield, because that was a big problem. So like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Comment on some EX skills that'll help. So thanks for joining me.